So, Beverly, where are we?
We're in London at the pier where the London Eye is and the river cruise is going to be. We're queuing up.
Oh, that's so British. Oh, yes. Good. Well, I've recognized these places. There's Big Ben, and there's the Parliament. And this is the River Thames. And this is the Eye, which we're going to be on a little later. Well, I'll tell you, this new technology is really throwing me. You just set your credit card on the machine and okay. Pub on the Thames. Okay, see you later.
So you can all wave at each other, but on this one, Westminster Bridge, normally it's rammed with people. It's a quiet day today, so give them a cheer, make some noise, and they will wave back. They're all up there taking their selfies, of course. That is the fourth most popular selfie spot here in the UK. So, hi guys! And if it's a bridge where it's going to be Londoners, I won't tell you to wave. So, first up on the right hand side, guys, we've got the Palace of Westminster. Now, of course, we do normally call this the Houses of Parliament here, but there was a royal palace here from King Canute in Anglo-Saxon times until Henry VIII. He had a lot of palaces, so he moved out of this one, down the road to the Palace of Whitehall that is no longer there, but he handed that building over to form the first medieval government that stood here until 1834 when it burnt down. This current neo-Gothic building you see was designed by Sir Charles Barry. Now we have two houses in our parliament system here. We have the House of Lords, they're appointed by the monarchy, and the House of Commons, they're voted in and out, the MPs that we vote in and out. So the House of Lords hang out in that red section there, you can see the awnings, and the House of Commons MPs, they hang out in the green area there. Now all throughout Parliament it's colour-coded red and green, and that's to keep them separate to avoid corruption apparently, that's what they tell us. Now, of course, we didn't always get the chance to vote, and back in the day, if you weren't happy with Parliament, you had to do some pretty extreme things. So we had a famous man here in England, Guy Fawkes, on the 5th of November 1605. He decided to blow them all up. But sadly, he was caught. Luckily he was caught. And if you look on the right-hand side there, guys, you've got a small stone hut with some stairs going down to the river there. Now, that was the UK's smallest prison. And Guy Fawkes was taken there, and he was held there until a boat could come along the river to take him down to the Tower of London to be tortured. And that's the exact same journey we are going to do today, guys, and as long as you behave yourself, we won't leave you there to be tortured, we'll bring you back. So, just ahead of us then we've got Lambeth Bridge, and on the left hand side of the bridge behind the trees we've got Lambeth Palace. Now that's home to the Archbishop of Canterbury, the head of the Church of England, when he is here in London. As we swing around to the left, we've got St Thomas's Hospital, one of the oldest hospitals in the country, a world-leading medical school, and also famous for Florence Nightingale. This is where she brought her new style of nursing to when she returned from the Crimean War. So all the nurses that do train at St Thomas's are called Nightingales in her honour, and there is a museum dedicated to her on the site here. But there was actually another nurse in the Crimean War, equally as important. She has a statue here, Jamaican nurse named Mary Seacole. So, as we turn around, guys, back on the left hand side you will see a clock tower. And until 2012, that is what it was called, the Clock Tower. 2012 was Queen Elizabeth II's Diamond Jubilee, 60 years on the throne. And it was renamed the Elizabeth Tower in her honour. So, in fact, guys, nobody can see Big Ben. And that's because Big Ben is the 13.5-ton bell that sits inside the clock tower there. But you know what, guys, if you say to any Londoner, where is at the Elizabeth Tower, nobody will have a clue because we all call it Big Ben as well. So on the left-hand side of the Palace of Westminster, of course, you have got Westminster Abbey, so that's worth checking out later on. And as it is a lovely quiet day today, a lot of the attractions are not going to be very busy. Any of you that are interested, you do normally pay to go into Westminster Abbey, but 5 o'clock they have church services there. They're free to go into, so if you wanted to do a church service in Westminster Abbey, you need to start queuing up about 4:15. And of course, Westminster Abbey, the last big event there was the coronation of King Charles. So guys, back to Westminster. As I say, not many people, but they will wave back at you here. So let's give them a little wave. Hi guys. It's very quiet today. But as I said to you, make the most of it.
Yeah.
So, back ahead of us then guys, the London Eye. Probably a lot of you going on it afterwards, and it's a fantastic thing to do. It stands 135 metres tall, and it is the world's tallest cantilevered observation wheel. Cantilevered means it's supported on one side, as you can see, and it's an observation wheel because the pods are on the outside. Now yes, there is a taller wheel in Dubai, but it's a Ferris wheel, supported on both sides, and we don't like to use the F word on this boat, so from now on it's banned. Now there are 32 capsules on the Eye guys, one for each borough of London, but when you go on there, if you step into capsule 33, I haven't lied to you, we just don't have capsule 13 on there. That's to keep superstitious people happy. Now the Eye was actually designed to enter a competition to find a new landmark for the year 2000 millennium, and guys, it didn't win, it came second. So luckily for us, British Airways loved the design so much, they spent £75 million building it, and it was so popular it made all that money back within the first 2 years of operation. I will show you what beat the Eye further down the river. Maybe it didn't win because it was only meant to actually stand here for 5 years, but here it is 23 years later, lit up with fireworks every New Year's Eve, accompanied by good old Big Ben chiming away, broadcast across the nation by the BBC, so I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. I think it's here to stay. So 3 bridges in one, guys. We've got Hungerford Railway Bridge. The trains go into Charing Cross Station on your left. Either side are 2 Golden Jubilee walkways, added on in 2002 to commemorate Queen Elizabeth II's Golden Jubilee. 50 years on the throne. Now when there's people, lots of people, we always get waves there. There's only 2 people up there, and I think they're busy looking at their map because they're probably lost. So on your right hand side then guys, we got the Royal Festival Hall, the last remaining building from the Great Festival of Britain that was held in 1951 to cheer everybody up after World War II. It is now home to the London Philharmonic Orchestra, a beautiful restaurant called Skylon at the top, lots of lovely exhibition space there. The South Bank Centre there also includes the Purcell Room, Hayward Gallery, Queen Elizabeth Hall, and underneath all that, the Undercroft, Britain's oldest skateboarding park. So coming up guys to Waterloo Bridge, known in London as the Ladies' Bridge, because during World War II, when all the brave young men had to go off fighting in the war, the ladies had to build this bridge. And they were building it during the Blitz, guys. It was constantly bombed. They really had their work cut out. So even more amazing when I tell you, this is the only bridge that was built on time and on budget. So give it up for the ladies of World War II, didn't they do well? And it's the longest bridge on the London section of the Thames as well, and that is a true story guys. So staying on your right hand side, you've got an ugly building over there. It's meant to be ugly because it's built in the brutalist style of architecture that was very popular after World War II. Now King Charles doesn't like this building. He says it looks like the back end of a nuclear power station, as tactful as ever, but it is actually the National Theatre and home to 3 beautiful theatres inside. So if you are a theatre fan guys, check out the National, it's well worth it. A lot of West End shows do start off over there before they transfer over, and of course you're not paying West End prices there. National Theatre tickets, very, very, very reasonable. So the whole area along there where the trees are, known as the South Bank guys, very popular with us South Londoners to spend our time. You also see we've got our own sandy beach there guys, yep, our own beach, Ernie's Beach that is. Ernie spent 50 years working for the Coin Street community. They work very hard to keep this area affordable for working class Londoners. Behind the beach, Gabriel's Wharf, some lovely designer shops, bars and restaurants there. And on your left here, guys, the white ship, the Wellington. Now, she saw active duty in World War II. She would masquerade as a merchant ship. The German U-boats would surface. They didn't want to waste a torpedo on a merchant ship, so they left her alone. She then dropped her disguise, opened up her guns and fired at them. She's now a headquarters ship for Master Mariners. 25 years as a sea captain. That's where you go and meet your mates and have a few pints of beer. Now, on the right hand side here, guys, a red brick building with a tower on the top that looks like it says OXO. And we do call it the OXO Tower, but legally it doesn't say anything at all. That's because the River Thames is a royal highway and it's illegal to advertise. So when OXO, the famous gravy company here in the UK, when they moved into that building in the 1930s, they got taken straight to court. They hired a very clever lawyer though, and he said to the judge, "No judge, it doesn't say OXO. We just randomly ordered 3 geometric shaped windows. They just happened to arrive 2 noughts and a cross, and we randomly put them up." And the judge believed him. What a silly judge. And maybe he had slipped him a bit of money, who knows. But OXO no longer live there. That is now home to Harvey Nichols restaurant at the top. But thanks to the Coin Street community, every apartment there is social affordable housing for local residents of Lambeth and Southwark. So guys, on your left hand side, your first shots there of the lovely St Paul's Cathedral, the world's 2nd largest dome cathedral, second only to St Peter's in the Vatican, and designed of course by Sir Christopher Wren, completed in 1711. Now that is the 5th version of St Paul's. The 4th version burnt down in the Great Fire of 1666, and it was the tallest building in the world at the time. So, oh, they're taking our picture. Not giving us a wave. Oh, he gave us a wave. So 2 Blackfriars bridges, guys. They're both called Blackfriars. As you can see, that this second one, it's a railway station. The complete bridge is a railway station, the only one to span the Thames here. So, again on the left then, guys, back to St Paul's. If you notice, there are no tall buildings around it. They're further down the river there. That's because we have an ancient law here in London that says that the dome must be visible from 8 key points across the city, and some of them are quite far away. It also stands 365 feet tall, 1 foot for every day of the year, because Sir Christopher was very religious. He said we should worship every day of the year. Now look at the City of London red brick school there. You can see they had to put the glass atrium in the middle in order to preserve the sightline to the dome there. Now guys, the next bridge, the Millennium Bridge, us Londoners call it the Wobbly Bridge, I'll tell you why on the way back, but this is what beat the London Eye to win the competition, believe it or not. Now, any Harry Potter fans on board? Do you recognise that bridge, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince? Yep. Voldemort's Death Eaters attacked and destroyed it. Normally friendly, we'll see if we get some waves up there. Hello up there on the Wobbly Bridge. It was also attacked in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 movie and attacked again in London Has Fallen movie. We don't know why. Hollywood don't seem to like the bridge. Now on the right hand side, guys, you've got a white building with a thatched roof. That is a reproduction of Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. The original stood nearby until 1613 when it burnt down during a production of Henry VIII. Someone thought it would be a great idea to put a live cannon inside and to fire it to create the sound of thunder. Yep, sparks from the cannon set fire to the thatch roof had burnt down. You could say it literally brought the house down. Now all thatch was banned after the Great Fire here in London. So this is the only thatch roof you will find in London, and US director Sam Wanamaker, who created this theatre here that you can see, he had to get a special permission for that roof, and of course it's fireproof. Yeah, that was a labour of love for US director Sam Wanamaker, and sadly he didn't live long enough to see its completion in 1997, but well worth checking out, guys. It is an exact reproduction, so it's good to see. Now it's a bit early and a bit quiet today, but over there those people are already waiting outside one of the oldest pubs in London, the Anchor Tavern. There's been an ale house of some description there for around about 700 years, and during that time many famous people have drunk there, including Charles Dickens the novelist, Samuel Pepys, who wrote the first English dictionary, and the famous diarist Samuel Pepys. He sat there drinking while London burnt down on the other side. Now they do say Shakespeare drank there, but he couldn't have, could he? Because he was barred, wasn't he? Yes, haha. We put that in to see if anyone's listening. Now, on your left, guys, you can see a column with a golden orb on the top. That is the monument, so Christopher Wren's first design. That was a place for Londoners to go up to watch their city being rebuilt after the Great Fire. You can go up there today, guys. It's still the world's tallest freestanding column. But you pay about $5.50 to go up there. You get a certificate if you make it to the top, because it's 311 steps and no lift. Now, as we go under this bridge, guys, look right and look left, and it will tell you its name.
Oh, London Bridge.
Yes, this is London Bridge. Now, I'm pointing that out to you because a lot of people think the bridge ahead of us is London Bridge. An easy mistake to make. A lot of people make that mistake, including Google. If you Google London Bridge, it shows you a picture of Tower Bridge. But I'll tell you more about both those bridges later on, guys, because on the right-hand side here, please remain in your seats, guys. On the right-hand side, you've got the tallest skyscraper in Western Europe, the Shard of Glass. That is built as high as UK aviation laws will allow. Any higher than that, and it would interfere with air traffic control here in London. It's home to the Shangri-La Hotel, shops, offices, restaurants, some very expensive apartments there, and an observation deck at the top. But you pay to go up that one, and on the way back I'll tell you about a free one. Now guys, on the right hand side, in full Arctic camouflage, we've got an 11,500 ton battle cruiser, the HMS Belfast. Now, she was built in the same dockyard as the Titanic, and what a history she's got, guys. In World War II, she helped to sink Hitler's favourite warship, the Scharnhorst. She fired the first shots at the Normandy D-Day landings at Juno Beach. And after active service in the Korean War, the government was going to scrap her. So luckily for us, the Imperial War Museum stepped in and offered to buy her for £1, yeah? And she now sits here as a floating naval museum on the Thames and an extremely popular tourist attraction, guys. Now on your left you've got your first shots there of the Tower of London. The part in the middle with the four turrets and the flag, that's the White Tower that was built by William the Conqueror shortly after he conquered England in 1066. The tower was completed by his son William II around about 1100. Now much more about the tower on the way back, guys, because now we will focus on Tower Bridge. It's not as old as you might think. It's a Victorian bridge designed by Sir Horace Jones, completed in 1894. It's a vascular bridge, which means it opens up in the middle, and of course you know that. Opened about 6,000 times a year in its opening years. Now it opens about a couple of times a day, but it will always open for any ship that's too tall to go underneath it, as long as they give at least 24 hours notice. Because river traffic does take priority over road traffic here on the Thames, guys. But there's one day of the year it won't open up for anybody at all. It's not Christmas, it's not New Year's, it's not the King's birthday. Any Londoners on board? Give it a guess. I'll tell you if you're right on the other side. Because guys, I have secretly had you in training for this bridge. We haven't had much training, sadly, but you must cheer and wave at this bridge and get waves back for 5 years. Good luck for the whole boat, and they will wave back, guys. So hello up there on Tower Bridge. See, there we are, waving already. It's as easy as that to get 5 years. Good luck, guys. Now that is an old Victorian sailor's legend. This was the last bridge they went under before their long voyages around the world. They really did believe that if their loved ones stood there waving them goodbye, that all of them would be alive and well 5 years later to be reunited. So go and buy a lottery ticket, guys. Now we're in the old port of London here, once one of the busiest city ports in the world. It would have been full up with boats waiting to go under the bridge or to unload their cargoes in the warehouses either side. Of course, they're not warehouses anymore, guys. Very expensive, converted to apartments there. The one on the right, Butler's Wharf, that was an old spice warehouse, and the word wharf stands for warehouse at riverfront. Now guys, if we were to go 1 mile further down the river, we would come to an area called Rotherhithe in southeast London, and that's where the Mayflower set sail from. Now guys, get your cameras ready and look left. Get your cameras ready and look left to take your pictures of Tower Bridge. So yes guys, if we had gone 1 mile further down the river, we would have come to Rotherhithe, where the Mayflower set sail from. Now, taking those first pilgrims across to America, of course. Now, of course, we have a pub there now called the Mayflower in true British style, and there's a statue of Captain Christopher Jones nearby. It's believed that he and most of those first pilgrims would have come from Rotherhithe in southeast London. So if you check your ancestry, if you're American, you may well find you come from southeast London. So guys, there it is, the most famous bridge in the world, the most photographed bridge in the world. Shame it's not sunny, but at least it's not raining like yesterday. So guys, if you look at the top, you can see you've got two walkways there. They were put there, obviously the Victorians couldn't keep waiting for the bridge to close to cross over, but the Victorians were a bit lazy, they couldn't be bothered to climb up them, so they didn't get used very much and they became a bit of a criminal hangout for thieves and naughty ladies of the night and that kind of thing. So they were closed down for many, many years. You can go up there, guys, as part of the Tower Bridge experience. You do pay though, but it is popular because as we go under, look up, you can see the glass walkways. People like to lie on those and take a selfie. But girls, just think about this. If you go up there, just check out what you're wearing, because if you can see down, they can see up. So get your last shots in there, guys. Now, has anyone guessed the one day of the year that the bridge won't open for anybody? The London Marathon. Everybody runs over the bridge. If it opened up, it would make quite a spectacular water jump. We would find it very funny to watch, but I don't think they'd find it very funny to jump over. So guys, get your cameras ready for the right-hand side there, and the Tower of London. Now the tower's been many things in its time. It was a mint, it made all the coins here until the early 19th century. It was a zoo, believe it or not. It was a luxury palace, but of course it was a grisly place of torture and execution. Now the gift to the British government from the Egyptian government for helping out in the Battle of the Nile. That's right guys, it really is ours. Not like all the stuff in the British Museum that England stole from all around the world. And of course it's free to go to the British Museum to see all that. But here we are, we display this proudly because it's ours. Now as we go by, check out the two sphinxes on the bottom. They are facing the wrong way round. Over twice. It got lost at sea for about 4 years apparently. A number of sailors died bringing it over. So it's fair to say that like lots of Egyptian artifacts that have been tampered with, it could well be cursed. So we're being protected. Now guys, I can feel it's going to rain soon. Hopefully we'll get back because we do now ask you to remain seated until we do come into dock. This is the last bridge we'll go under, the Hungerford Railway Bridge and the two Golden Jubilee walkways. And we do close the toilets on board here, guys, because we don't have long to get them cleaned up and turned around for the next customers. So your nearest free toilets, guys, on your left-hand side in the Royal Festival Hall. Also, when you leave the boat in the London Eye ticket office, there is a place on the South Bank trying to charge you £1. You don't need to spend £1 to go to the toilet. Save your money. So, hello, guys. They're waiting to wave at you. I told you, these are always lovely, friendly bridges. I think some people just come here to wave at everyone, to be honest with you. So it's not true what they say about us Londoners. We're very friendly. Now look on your right hand side, guys, behind the trees there, you can see all the flags there and the green roofs. Now that is the Ministry of Defence. We call it the iceberg here in London because what you can see there is the tip of the iceberg. That's 9 floors you can see. Underneath there are about 20 floors of tunnels. It links up Buckingham Palace, Houses of Parliament, Downing Street, who knows where else. And in the event of a nuclear war, that's where the royals and the MPs are going to go and hide out in their nuclear bunkers. And they'll probably have lots of naughty parties like they did in COVID. And you know what, guys, we're not invited. Who cares? It'll be boring, right? See the pub on the Thames there, that lovely boat there? We can all go over there, have a good old drink, the proper London knees up. We'll have much more of a laugh. They'll be wanting to come on board there with us. And we won't let them. Now, guys, the London Eye, as I say, have a lovely time on there if you go on afterwards. You can upgrade your experience, guys, to a champagne experience. You drink champagne on the way round. But it's not free, guys. You have to pay for it. Now, it's also a hot spot for romance. We have many